Hi, I'm Jack Wall. I'm from the Greenville FFA chapter, and my speech is titled How to Better Inform People About Agriculture. Today, many people are removed from direct agricultural life. With that occurrence, many don't realize how much work it takes or how things operate on a farm. Because of this lack of knowledge, many things that are detrimental to farmers have developed, such as misinformed social media posts, animal rights activists, and other anti-producer organizations. These people think they have the right idea in mind, but aren't exactly representing agriculture correctly. There are several ways to solve this problem, and this will help farmers not have to face the struggle of dealing with people who just don't know better. Many people have been removed from a life that is surrounded by agricultural production, and it is hard for them to understand how things are done on a farm or even where their food comes from. Many people believe that farmers harm animals. My mother works a job in agritourism. She gives tours at a local dairy farm in Cranberry. There have been many days where she comes home from work and tells us about how confused some people were about dairy farming. They had said that their grandparents farmed, but they themselves were not raised on a farm. There have been many people who think that it is wrong to vaccinate cows, and they think that farmers are harming them by poking a needle in them. Little do they realize that without vaccinations, some of the cows would most likely die of a disease at one point, and vaccinations can prevent that. She also has people come in, and when they see the calves are in their own little individual pens, they think that the farmers are putting these wonderful animals in some sort of a cruel jail, and that the calves are miserable. What they don't realize is that the calves are being monitored in a safe place where there's always feed and water and a dry place to sleep. They also do not take into account that most of these cows and calves will die if they are set free into the wild, for they will have no food and water. I can understand that some people don't realize the truth in all things, but this is a problem that is able to be corrected. Another hot topic I know many disagree with me about is the fact that GMOs are beneficial, not detrimental. However, with many GM crops, there are secondary benefits that shoppers are unlikely to be aware of by glancing at items in the aisle, such as lower cost, less soil erosion because tillage isn't as necessary for weed control, less pesticide application, and others. GMOs in fact benefit farmers very much and are extremely necessary with the continuous population growth. Coming from a farm, I know why GMOs are beneficial and a necessity. But people who haven't witnessed this firsthand disagree. Many people believe that GMOs could make them sick or harm them in some way. There is no data to indicate that the consumption of GMOs is bad for human health. How do we know? GMOs have undergone more detailed evaluation than any other group of plants that we consume. In almost all cases, GMOs differ from a conventional plant by the addition of just one or two genes that produce one or two new proteins. The origin and functions of these proteins are well understood. For example, the proteins are studied to make sure they do not have any characteristics that are likely to cause allergic reactions. The National Academy for Science, the United States' #1 source for independent, objective advice to the nation on matters of science and technology, concluded that GMOs are safe for human health. The same conclusion has been reached by a large number of prestigious health and science organizations from around the world. In addition, over the 2 decades that GMOs have been on the market, there have been no occurrences of health issues due to genetically modified organisms. Finally, another major problem is that a lot of people believe everything they read on the internet. As Cabell Gathman from the Washington Post states, people don't consider the legitimacy of specific news sources. I've met many people that as soon as they hear something or read a headline online, whether or not it may be true, they start preaching it like it's the gospel. Personally, I know a person from my area who stopped eating beef because she read on the internet that beef is bad for you. A lot of these people don't check the legitimacy of their sources, but if we agriculturalists and farmers teach them real facts, I believe they won't be so prone to believing everything they hear. There are several solutions to these problems. For one, we can promote ag in the classroom. My grandma is extremely involved with the Illinois Agri-Women and knew the individual who started ag in the classroom. Jean Ivendahl, married to a farmer, decided children were not getting enough education about farms. The birth of ag in the classroom happened in the early to mid 1970s, with Jean Ivendahl designing an agricultural curriculum for middle grade students and assembling sets of resources in her one-room schoolhouse to share with school teachers in Illinois. She visited schools in every county in the state, sharing the ag experience only as a school teacher knew how, with lesson plans and well-defined outcomes for the students learning about where their food comes from. This program teaches children who are still in school about the facts of agriculture and the right thing to do for animals and other agricultural products. This would help people understand what the right thing is, and therefore they won't be susceptible to misrepresentation from Joe Schmo on social media. Another solution is promoting ag tourism. Just like my mother's job in ag tourism, she helps educate people, not just children, every day about how farms are run and the importance of how they do things on the farm. In this method, everybody can be taught about agriculture, old or young, and people can see firsthand how a farm operates. Finally, another solution is promoting ag classes and FFA in junior high and high school. Many ag classes go in depth about agriculture and help kids who don't have an agricultural background get educated about agriculture. As long as people continue to promote organizations like these and are willing to learn more about the way farms and agriculture operate, this misinformation problem can be addressed. In time, I believe everybody, from the city to the country, will understand how important agriculture and farms are and why they operate the way they do. Thank you.